Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name's Lumen and today we're having a look at Brighter Shores. Brighter Shores is an all-new free-to-play adventure from award-winning MMORPG designer Andrew Gower that you may or may not know from a little game called RuneScape. It's an enchanting point-and-click style RPG with hundreds of hours of gameplay set in a land of magic and mysteries, with a huge number of professions to try and something new to find around every corner. And obviously, character creation, so here we are. If you'd like to do a deep dive to discover all there is to discover about Brighter Shores, you can find some links below, and as always there will be timestamps. Gonna say here at the start, we are jumping in and having a look at the initial character creation and customization experience. This game is the type of game that you actually have to play, jump into, and spend some time in to unlock all the rest. We are just looking at what you are presented with when you jump in, which is cosmetic. You are setting up how your character looks. When it comes to skills and professions and classes, you're going to have to play the game for that. It is free to play, so you can do it. Find the link below, check it out right now. Go for it. Yep. I already recommend it just based on that, and based on the awesome art style, and based on the wholesome description. Let's jump in. For this video, we're going to look at male customization, male randomization, female customization, female randomization, and then at the end, I'll just very briefly talk about the classes that are available. I don't know much about it, and I feel like there isn't much known about it outside of the few lines of text that we've been told, so that's not what this video is for. This is mostly just for the character design at the start. Let us begin. Our first choice on our male character over here is actually hair. I call it the first choice because it's the first in line, but I'm going to jump on to the skin tone first because I feel like that's a more important choice to have a look at first. It seems like we've started with a character that looks like Matthew Mercer here. I approve of this. Skin tones are varied. They have pretty much everything from the lightest to the darkest here. They have some warmer tones, they have some cooler tones. I like it. It's a thumbs up. They've got basically all you need. Not so much on the cool side of things, especially on the darker tones here, but that's something that can easily be changed or rectified. Overall, though, there is more than enough here to go with. Then, hair. Usually, what I would call the biggest choice that you can make. Let's have a peek. I think they've been pretty inclusive with this and pretty thorough with basically everything that's available. I do notice there's a line on the back of the character's head over there that looks a little out of place. It looks like I'm wearing sort of like a head cover or like a wig or something like that. I don't know if that's part of the design or if it's like a roll in the guy's neck. I don't know. Okay, it's just something that I spotted, and you don't see it with most of the hairstyles, so it's most likely going to be gone by launch. In terms of the amount of hairstyles, there's a fantastic selection, and in terms of the quality of the actual hair, I feel like they've sort of straddled the line. They found a happy medium between the amount of detail that they put in, but also, I would say, the adherence to the design that they went with, style that they went with, because it's kind of a difficult thing. If they put too much detail into something like the hair, then it might just look completely out of place in a world that is set up in a more simplistic way, right? However, the character models and stuff like that, that includes the hair, they look far and beyond better than things like we saw in RuneScape or anything else of the type. So I'm very happy with it, and obviously things like the performance are also great in this. I'm a big fan. It's nice that you have a game like this that's very old school in nature, releasing now in 2024 with all the modern bells and whistles and modern performance. Fantastic. It feels good to play. But back to the hairstyles. There are a lot of good long styles and short styles. We're back at the start now. I'm going to go through it one more time. And I think that they even have some sort of unique ones here. Like I saw a mohawk with a ponytail. I think that they've definitely got enough for us. You combine this with things like the beards, and then you are just set, right? The way this is going to work, there's actually the mohawk ponytail. I've never seen that before. I've seen mohawks with these little like braids on the front, but never a ponytail out the back. Once you've chosen your style here, you actually go around on this wheel like we did for the skin tones, and then you can select the color. So we'll pick one that we like. Let's just take a sort of normal, straightforward style. We can take this one, and then let's look at the colors. I think we are pretty much, once again, spoiled for choice with the colors, because that was a massive amount of hairstyles. And now for the colors, it's a similar situation where they've basically given us full RGB because they've given us so many different colors here. But yeah, I mean, I'm impressed. It looks good, and the colors translate quite nicely. They actually show as what they are displayed as here, and that's sick. I'm going to be boring, though, and I'm going to pick, like, this black hairstyle and, well, color, and just go with that, not to distract you from the rest of the stuff. That's the reasoning that I'm going with. Now, for the face, this is actually one of the more interesting choices that you get to work with. This is the top half of the face, and this basically covers everything from the emotions, to the age, to how weathered you look, to extras, like accessories on your face, and everything else. It's pretty cool the way they've set it up. You can see by the picture here, it's just the top half of the face, and we're going to do the bottom half over there. But all the different expressions and styles of faces, and then also ages. You can see there are some older faces here. And when we get closer to the end, then you will see things like there are 2 pairs of glasses to choose from, and there's an eye patch. That's pretty cool. I like it. I really like it. I do believe that you are probably going to be covering up your face very soon after you start playing, but still, it's nice to be able to know that you've customized your character to its fullest. There are some good choices here. I'm going to pick one with the eyes visible, just because we're going to look at the eye color next. This is one of the more nothing choices in the character creation system, mostly because the only eyes that you can actually see are the lighter ones. When it gets to the darker ones, like when we go through the blues here and the light blues, you can quite clearly see what's going on. But when you get to the darker ones, they sort of disappear, and that's mostly because they're small. I will say, however, that you do actually see your character up close and personal in cutscenes and stuff like that quite often, so it's still an important choice, and you should pay attention to it. However, again, you are customizing the color of an eye that is like a couple of pixels wide over there, so obviously it's just going to be a little less, you know, than desirable trying to like see what's going on down there. Regardless, good choices for the eye colors. And then as we move on to the jaw choices here, this is once again just like the face, sort of a big selection of different stuff. You are customizing your jaw, your mouth, your ears, the entire bottom part of your face. And as far as jaws go, there's a good selection already where you have more chiseled looks, slightly perhaps you could call them older looks, and then you get things like different expressions on the mouth and even beards. The beards look good. Once again, adhering to the style quite nicely. They fit in quite nicely. They look decent. I like it. It's all one big thumbs up. They have some styles where the mustache is separate. They have some styles where the beard is separate. They have the mutton chops here. They basically have all you'll need. And then in terms of the like shaved looks with the different choices for the jaws and stuff like that, I mean, it's nice. I'll take this guy for the purposes of this video. We've looked at everything now. He's got sort of like a half smirk on his face, and I kind of dig that. And that actually brings us to the end of the body customization. So now we're going to move on to the clothes. This is a very simple choice. You are just picking the color of what you are wearing, and you are picking the basic style of the outfit. I'm looking at the color first because this is actually a good one to look at the color on. But the color choices are varied. Once again, you're going to probably be covering this up pretty soon into your gameplay. And then the designs, well, they're neat and tidy. Not a lot of them, but they're neat and tidy. Well, actually, I shouldn't say not a lot. I mean, most often games just sort of throw you in there, and you're just happy with the starter gear that you get. I feel like, all things considered, this is actually quite nice. And I mean, for this sort of like medieval look, I think that they nailed it with the style that they went with. The look and feel of the outfits is super authentic, and it's crisp and clear and well put together. We're going through it for a second time now. I dig it. I dig it. I feel like I need to go full Goku on this because I saw a sort of tunic kind of thing that could sort of look good. Is there an orange? There's no orange. That's a pity. This would have been like medieval Goku, you know? I'm boring. I'm just going to take the black one for now. But I'm going to take something that looks decidedly medieval. Let's take this one. Let's look at the pants. It's a similar situation. There's a good selection here. Again, I like the different textures that they go with. I like the different styles here. I like how some look slightly more upper crust and others look slightly more, hey, peasant. And it's good. It's a nice combination. Let's look for some... There you go. Decent colors that match. Yeah, this guy, goddamn, makes characters for a living, uses black and brown. Jeez, Lim, how can you be so boring? Regardless, we've gone through these a bunch now. Let's just pick one like that one, and we'll stick with it. Then we have the shoes. Did I look at the colors on this? I mean, the colors are the same. So, like, I actually somehow I've just blanked out because I was looking at so many different leg types that I've forgotten. I apologize. I apologize. I picked brown. I remember now. But the shoes, here we go. Not going to find any, like, sneakers here or anything like that. I actually kind of like what they're presenting us with. It's a decent selection once again. They have given us all the colors once again. However, you can see that the colors, yeah, I mean, there's actually barefoot as well. What happens if you change the colors? Please tell us our toenails. Oh, no. No painted nails. That would be kind of funny. But yeah, but the colors, they translate well. What you see is what you get. However, again, it's like you don't go for the super bright colors. You'll see that, like, on these, you get, like, brighter and then a little dimmer and then even more so. So it's like they're giving you... They're sort of curating your choices for the shoes. They don't want you... breaking the world's fashion by wearing the brightest shoes ever or anything like that. And you know what? I appreciate it. It looks cool. So, good selection here. I'm going to take just any one of them and then look at the colors quickly. There we go. Very nice. It's a whole lot of brown. A lot of murky colors here. There it is. And then the final choice down here is skin tone, which we've actually already looked at. So, yeah, that's a decent selection on male. I actually really like what I've seen. And now we are not done yet. We're going to randomize. And you'll see all the creative stuff that I didn't do. Let me click the button. There's a whole lot that you can do with your characters. You can make them look any sort of way. And I do believe that you should be able to jump in here and create something that makes you happy. I firmly believe that. You know, some people might sit here and say, ooh, well, I would have liked some body choices, like, hey, muscularity and height and all that stuff. Man, let them cook. This is looking good already. I'm a big fan of how good and diverse the characters look already, especially with the simple yet satisfying art style that they've gone with. And, yeah, it's nice. I would be happily jumping in on a male or female character, and that's saying something. Because there's a lot of options, there's enough here to make me happy. So in terms of randomize, you will see it's sort of all over the place. They don't hold back with it. Most of the characters do tend to have beards on here, just because. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Now we're going to jump onto the female character creation. Welcome. We are going to start here with the skin tone selection. Then we're going to jump onto the top and then the bottom. All right? All right. You can go pretty light with your skin tones here, and I think that they've covered pretty much every base that needs to be covered. Where this stuff is concerned, I like it. I think that they've got enough light tones, enough dark tones, enough of the warmer tones, and enough of the cooler tones. There's really no complaints here. So skin tones are good. They're good. I'm just taking the lightest one because that's me. Pasty and pale. That's me. Then we jump in onto the hair. So for the hair, we're going to look at the styles first because I kind of like this color already. You can see the back over there. I can't turn the character. I'm going to just pre-fire already. I really like the way that they've done this. They added just enough detail to the hair for me personally to make it look distinct and interesting and unique enough without distracting too much perhaps from the rest of the game or without looking out of place. It's easy to add too much detail and not realize that it looks completely out of place in the world that you've put this character in, or compared to perhaps the NPCs and stuff like that in the game world. It's a sort of a fine line, you know, and they seem to have straddled that line quite nicely with this character creation system. I also noticed that there was a line on the male character at the back here. It's not visible on female, so it must have been a bug or something. But the styles that they have here are nice, and they've got some inclusivity options that you can change the color on, like this. And there was a turban on the male side of things as well. There's some good colors to choose here. These colors we're going to be seeing a lot throughout the entire character creator. But let's look at the rest of the hair quickly first. Just put it back on that nice red color we had. I think we had this one. Doesn't really matter. There are a couple of styles on here that I think are unique to female. Obviously, that head cover that we just had was unique to female, but I think that there are a few on female that are unique and a few on male that are unique. But for the most part, they are the same across. They have a lot of sort of styles that they share. As an example, this one is definitely unique on female, and I think that the plaits and stuff like that are too. I'm okay with that. I generally like to say, hey man, just give all the styles to everyone. Be pretty much as open as you can be about that, but yeah, we've gone through all the styles now. We're going to go through them one more time a little quicker so you can see them. And then we're going to look at the colors that are available. I do like that they give us enough long styles and enough short styles. Let's go with these ones. I like the buns. For the colors, yeah, generous. There's a good selection here. There's really no complaints to be made. I'm kind of a fan that they've basically given us full RGB and they managed to stick to this little color wheel. Not sure how they chose the colors to put in this wheel, but I appreciate it regardless. Let's take this nice blue one over here because I think it's cool. And then we'll move on. Good choices. Now, we've got the face choices. This is interesting. This basically gives you a whole lot of control over the look and feel of your character. You are choosing your age, you are choosing your expression, you are choosing the way your character's eyes look, you are choosing extras like beauty spots and accessories. You can see here there's a couple of pairs of glasses, there's an eye patch, and so on and so forth. It's a pretty big one. Obviously your eyebrows are also part of that. And it's an important choice because you're going to be moving on to the eyes here, and then you're going to be changing the eye colors. So certain eyes are bigger, others are smaller. Pick wisely. Pick wisely. This is one of those things where I do feel like they will need to keep working on this and perhaps add more stuff to it as time goes by. Perhaps they'll just use this, the initial release, to poll their audience. You know, see what the gamers want more of or want less of. And then they can take it from there. In terms of eye colors, but yeah, I mean, more options always better, right? In terms of the colors, it's sort of like a bit of a nothing choice. The lighter colors can be seen quite nicely, but when you get to the darker ones, it's kind of hard to see. The eyes are small, can't really work around that. You do get up close and personal with your character from time to time in the game, so this is an important choice regardless. Let's take one of these nice green ones here, so pay attention to it. Now for the jaw, this is just the bottom half of the face, as you can see over there. It is going to be slightly less packed than the male side of things. That's mostly because the beards are not here. But you still get to pick, I would say, things like the age of your character. You are sort of somewhat in control of the weight of your character, and then how the chin is sort of cut out, how chiseled the face looks, and so on and so forth. Also things like the lips and everything else. So it's a pretty big choice. You can even see the ears are changing. It's a pretty big choice. But that's it. We are done with the body options. Now we're going to move on to the clothing. On the male side of things, there was obviously more there. I just want to point it out because they had the beards, and the beards are quite plentiful. For the clothes, nice selection of options here. I mentioned it on the male side of things. I really like the sort of medieval look that they went for, and I love how crisp and clean and neat and tidy the art style is. It's really nice. Yeah, it's really nice. Looks good. They've got this one, and this one to me look a little out of place because for some reason they look sort of more modern, but they do look good regardless. And yeah, once you've chosen a style that you like, then you can change the color, and the colors also quite varied and plentiful. You get all the basic sort of browns and blacks, and then you get some nice actual colors here with the greens and the blues and the pinks and the purples, and I dig it. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Let's take the white one. Kind of makes us look like a kung fu master. Pants. Not as many as the torso choices, but there are some decent options here regardless. Yeah, I think you should be able to find what you like. You should be able to find something that makes you happy. The females have some dresses and or skirts here, which I appreciate. They do have way more than the males have in terms of options here. And for the purposes of this video, I'm going to take one of those dresses because why not? And I'm going to make it... Let's not make it white. Is there like a... There's no red here, which is kind of weird to me. Let's go with one of these. This is the closest we're going to get to red. It's sort of like a maroon, right? There we go. That looks kind of nice. Then we're going to move on to the shoes. The shoe options, yeah, I mean, there are shoe options. You can go barefoot, you can put some like sandals on, and then there are a varied number of other sort of medieval inspired looks. I think these are like wrappings or socks or something, I don't know. There's some boots, there's some like cloppers or something. There's just a good selection overall. These ones look nice with that. Perhaps I'll come back to those. And yeah, you get to change the color on all of them. Let's go back there. There we go. And then you get to change the color. Not a huge amount that's changing there, but the color is changing, and you can mix and match with your outfit to make something cool. And that does bring us to the end. We've already done the skin. We did that at the start. Now we're going to randomize and see what you can actually do with a female character in a game like this. All right, let us do it. How would I match this up, I wonder? I'd probably put like black shoes on. I think that's cool. But let's randomize and let's see what's up. I think there are going to be quite a few nice styles here. Yeah, I'm already enjoying this. This is already kind of nice. That's, wow. Wow, it looks like a bandana, but it's actually the hair. Definitely going for the darker skin tones a little more. I kind of like the glasses. You can probably make like a Harry Potter-esque kind of thing. The eye patch is cool. Yeah. It's a good selection. Perhaps a little more varied than the male side of things because the beards aren't there. The beards sort of made it look a little samey. Although they were interesting and they were cool. The beards were, I don't know. But I do like that they splashed some color into most of these, and you can sort of see that there's a little more variety where that's concerned because of the color. Overall, however, I'm quite a fan of this. Yeah. And that is going to bring us to the next and final part of the video. So the classes and the skills and the professions and stuff like that in this game, I'll just tell you briefly about it. It works like you would expect the game that comes from the designer of RuneScape works. You have to play the game to level these things. When you've played the game, you will be able to discover classes like the Cryo Knight, the Guardian, or the Hammer Mage, which all sound pretty badass. There are other classes and professions that lead up to these. These are called the legendary classes of old, so you don't just start with them. You can jump into the world, you can find out all there is to find out about that, and you can do it all free, which is amazing. So there you go. I hope that you guys find something cool where that is concerned. I hope that some of it appeals to you, and I hope it works for you. Because this game, man, it truly has a lot of heart and soul sort of baked into it. And that said, we're going to jump into the outro now. And I will just say, I really love what they've got on offer here. I love the old school feel. I love the simple yet satisfying style. And I love that they've given us a whole lot. There's a decent amount of inclusivity. There are just a decent number of options available. And it all just feels like it works, you know, for the style of the game that they've given us here. I love it. Yeah, I love it. And for the game itself, I love the sense of discovery that's just attached to all of it. The freedom to just jump in and be who you want to be, do what you want to do. That's what's drawn me to this game already. And hey, if you guys are here watching this video, perhaps the same can be said for you. I think that overall, they've sort of nailed the art style. They've nailed down what they want the game to look like. And now the only thing that's left to do is to polish things up. And I would say for character creation specifically, it would be cool if they just add a few more options. I have no complaints here. There's that one little spot on the back of the male's head that they need to fix. But other than that, I've got like nothing. This is looking pretty fantastic. So thumbs up to Andrew Gower. You guys are doing something pretty cool here. I personally love being able to jump into a game that looks and feels like RuneScape, that has a heart and soul that's clearly in there and radiating with this wholesomeness that you want from a game like this. And man, I can't wait. So thank you. Thank you for making this and thank you for working on this. I'm super keen to see what happens with this game. Guys, you can check back here soon for more. Give this video a like and share it and do all that other good stuff. Let me know what you think about Brighter Shores so far. If you've been having fun, if you've been gaming hard, tell me how it's going. You can find my links below, my coffee page, and my Twitch channel, and all the rest. And hey, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Go well, dudes. Be cool. Happy that.